Have you ever stopped to think about what truly controls your life? What may start as a simple distraction, a small pleasure, can gradually become a force that drains your energy, dreams, and freedom. Whether it's cigarettes, alcohol, food, games, social media, or even destructive thought patterns, they all share one thing in common: the illusion of pleasure. And what we often don't realize is that while we pursue this momentary pleasure, we are enslaving ourselves. There is no freedom for one who does not have mastery over themselves. So the question remains, are you really in control of your life, or are you being dominated by something without realizing it? Before we move forward, if this topic already makes sense to you, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. This simple gesture helps us spread this knowledge to more people who can benefit from it. The illusion of pleasure, the trap that holds us, is seductive. Addictions, in their various forms, promise pleasure but deliver a prison. At first it all seems harmless. A cigarette here, a drink there, a game to relax, scrolling through social media for a distraction. But soon enough, you realize you can't stop anymore. The addiction takes over. The relief you feel by giving in to these temptations is temporary, but the consequences afterward are devastating. Guilt, anxiety, loss of time, lack of purpose begin to emerge, and you find yourself stuck in a cycle that seems endless. Have you ever felt this way? This vicious cycle begins simply and silently, but soon it intensifies without you even noticing. What begins as temporary relief turns into a burden you don't know how to carry. The cycle of action and reward. Every addiction follows a cycle that repeats without you realizing it. First, the trigger appears, a moment of boredom, frustration, stress, or any other negative emotion. This is when the addiction starts calling. You give in to the temptation, light a cigarette, open a bottle of alcohol, scroll through Instagram, or dive into a game that absorbs you for hours. The momentary pleasure comes, but soon after, regret follows. The addiction doesn't go away, and before long, you're stuck in the same cycle again. But the good news is that this cycle can be broken. Marcos's story, from slavery to total control. Marcos was a slave to a very common addiction today: online games. What began as innocent fun soon took on unexpected proportions. He would spend hours and hours playing, wasting money, losing sleep, and worst of all, feeling like he had no control over his own life. He tried to quit, but the addiction kept coming back, stronger. The guilt and frustration grew until one day, Marcos realized, the problem wasn't the game, the problem was himself. And that's when he decided to apply 5 powerful principles to break the cycle and regain control. Now I'll show you exactly what he did to free himself from his addiction and reclaim his life. 5 strategies to break any addiction. 1. Train voluntary contempt. The first strategy Marcos used was voluntary contempt. This means consciously rejecting what brings excessive pleasure. If you can't go a day without coffee, try staying without it for a day. If social media dominates your time, delete the app for a week. If you can't live without sweets, try staying a month without sugar. The goal is to prove to yourself that you are stronger than your impulses. At first, it will be uncomfortable, but over time you'll realize that true strength comes from controlling your desires. 2. Question the impulse. Every time the impulse to give in to temptation arises, ask yourself, does this bring me closer or farther from the life I want? Will this benefit me in 5 years? If the answer is no, then don't do it. Momentary pleasure never compensates for the loss of control that it brings. Instant gratification might feel good, but the price you pay later, with guilt and regret, is not worth it. 3. Embrace discomfort. The last strategy Marcos used was to embrace discomfort. When you start resisting the addiction, the urge to give in will hit hard. It will be uncomfortable, but what if, instead of running away from it, you embraced it? Feel the urge to smoke and simply observe the sensation without acting. Feel the urge to open Instagram and, instead of giving in, just breathe. Feel the anxiety of not playing and realize that it doesn't control you. Over time, you'll discover something powerful. The desire always passes. True strength lies in not letting it control you. 4. Replace the addiction with positive habits. One of the most effective ways to combat an addiction is to replace it with something more positive. This could be a new hobby, physical exercise, or the development of a skill you've always wanted to learn. Marcos, for example, started running every day. In the beginning it was hard, but over time he began replacing the hours spent gaming with physical activity. The secret is to make the healthy activity more rewarding than the addiction. As you devote yourself to new habits, the urge to give in to the addiction begins to fade and your life takes on a new meaning. 5. Create a support network. Lastly, one of the most powerful strategies is to rely on others. Marcos realized that trying to overcome his addiction alone made the battle much harder, so he reached out to friends and family for support. He also joined an online support group where others were facing the same challenges. Having a support system strengthens your resolve to fight the addiction and offers emotional support during the toughest moments. The power of control. When you learn to resist impulses, embrace discomfort, and break the cycle, something incredible happens. You regain control of your life. Addiction only has power over you as long as you allow it. And today, you learned that there are powerful tools to free yourself. Now the big question is, will you stay attached to what controls you, or will you take control of your life? If this message made sense to you, like the video, comment "I choose freedom" and subscribe to the channel. Your participation helps this knowledge reach more people. And if you want more videos like this, turn on notifications and don't miss the next content.